Hey guys, what's up? It's Justin, aka Diego, back again showing you our strategy for Professor Putricide on a 10-man normal raid encounter in Icecrown Citadel. This is from the point of view from the Abomination. So everyone that is currently doing the questline for Shadowmourne will eventually have to do this on 25-man mode, but the 10-man mode abilities from the Abomination are exactly the same as the 25-man, as are the mechanics that and the priority system that you use to do the encounter as the Abomination. So as the Abomination, what you got to do to turn into the Abomination, you'll see the table that Professor Putricide starts out at. You just got to right click it, and a few seconds afterwards you will turn into the Abomination. This debuff, as far as it is now, is cleansable. You want to make sure that no one cleanses it off you, because you do lose all of the energy that you get from consuming this ooze. Your first ability is Consume Ooze, which is the green stuff on the ground. What that does is that gives you your energy, and it also gets rid of the green stuff on the ground, which does damage to anyone standing in it. This is your #1 priority. This maximizes the kite range that your raid gets to move the boss. You'll see here that we start the boss on the left side of the room when you're looking at Professor Putricide. This is because the first ooze that he spawns is the green one, and it spawns on the right side of the room. This gives it the maximum distance between the green and our raid. That means that the green one has the longest distance to get to our raid. If we're tanking over by the green one, obviously it's a lot shorter distance and you don't want it reaching anyone. What happens when the green one reaches someone is it splits damage. I believe it's about 70,000 damage on 10-man between everyone within 10 yards of it. So you want your whole raid to stand next to the person that it does target, that way splitting all the damage and reducing the amount of damage that one person might take. If it hits just one person, obviously it's going to kill him. If it hits two people, it probably will kill him, maybe not, but you just want your whole raid there. So your Abomination, your second ability is the slow ability, which you want to slow all of the ooze that spawns, the orange and green ooze. This is your second priority, and it's probably even higher priority than consuming the ooze, because if it's not slowed, especially this orange one, if this reaches any raid member, it will pretty much wipe your raid. But the orange one, you are able to kite and move, but it does do damage to the person that is currently it's focused. So you want to make sure that person does receive a significant healing. We brought 2 healers to this encounter because we felt that it was too healable, and we needed the extra DPS just to beat the phase 3 enrage timer. And your third ability as the Abom is your attack ability, and basically it's a Sunder type effect. So if you do not have a Sunder or exposed armor in the raid, it's very good to put this on the oozes, because it will increase your physical damage done by your raid. But you need 50 energy to slow all the oozes. So you do want to make sure when you are starting the phase 1, that if you only get one of the oozes on the ground to consume, you want to make sure you don't eat it all before you have 50 energy. You just want to pace yourself. You'll see in the video that we only had 1 spawn in the beginning. Sometimes you do get 2. So, but ideally after that, if you just keep on consuming the oozes as they come up, you should have enough energy for the whole encounter to keep the slows as necessary. In phase 2, he gains 2 abilities. You'll see orange stuff on the ground. They're vials. Those explode. They have a cast timer when they explode from when they're put down. You want to make sure no one's standing next to those, as they do put a hit debuff on anyone that is standing next to it. Very vital if a DPS gets it, because then they can't do their damage. And it also does damage about 15,000 damage, I would say, to anyone standing next to him. And then he also does throw green oozes at people. It does prefer range players, so if you don't currently have anyone at range, he will throw them at melee or in melee range. And that also does a debuff, which you do not want on any raid members, and also the damage. So it's just a fight that you have to get used to. It's a very mobile fight. You gotta be constantly moving, constantly kiting oozes, constantly moving from dodging vials, dodging green ooze that he throws at you. And you gotta be careful when you transition. You ideally do not want to transition him into phase 3 like we did here with these 2 things happening. This is a pretty bad transition. 1, we have an ooze up, and 2, we have green stuff on the ground. What happens in phase 3 is you lose your Abomination. That's supposed to happen, so he won't be able to consume any more of the green stuff. So you want to make sure it's all gone at this phase. And then obviously when you lose your abomination, you lose the ability to slow the ad. So it moves at full speed. Luckily it was on me and I have a lot of health and I was able to run away. In phase 3, he will put a debuff on the tank that does a certain amount of damage per stack. Ideally, you want a maximum of 5 stacks. And so what you have to, it requires 2 tanks. So what we did here is the main tank took 2 stacks and then I took 2 stacks. He resumed tanking when I took 2 stacks and he took 4, and then I took 4. What happens with the debuff is if anyone dies, obviously the tanks, he heals for a certain amount of health. So you obviously don't want your tank to die. And then also if it falls off, which it shouldn't, it's a 2-minute debuff, but if it does fall off for some reason, he will heal as well, but you shouldn't have an issue with it falling off. So you want to use any raid cooldowns like Divine Guardian or Divine Sacrifice at this time, because raid healing can get pretty intensive for your 2 healers. If you 2 healer like us, I will put a macro that you guys can use if you are Protection Paladin. That's a very good Divine Sacrifice macro. Basically it's a cancel aura macro, and what it does is it doesn't let you take any of the damage, but it still reduces the damage that the raid takes without you actually taking all the damage. So it's a really good macro, check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment and rate, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, have a good one guys.